Can you hear me now? Alright, I can hear me, so that means you can hear me. You're here with a banger. Thank you for answering. One Twitch chatter doing their job. Alright, I'm here with Team TITS versus Team R2R from the Light League. Wait 1 minute, talk about draft. Ooh, I like what I see. I like what I see. I see an Urgot. Big Urgot enjoyer here. I'm just going to start talking about draft. Looks like we opened up with a Mel. Mel, solid pick. Oh, solid pick, just good at. Wait, is this not live? Looks live. Okay, it is live. Yeah. Thoughts on this match? I will get to it. I just need to make a quick post because I forgot to do that. Oh, looks like Simi is making the post, so I will let him do that for me. Alright. Team Teds versus Team R2R. Looks like we have a Mel opening into Annie Caitlin. I've been seeing a lot more Annies recently in Pro Leagues. Has a lot of burst still on it as long as you can survive laning phase. I would imagine into Mel's kind of annoying because Mel could reflect your Q. I don't know if she'd get your stun passive with it. Yeah, it is a good name. I don't know if she'll get her stun passive, but I'm sure we'll learn sometime throughout the game. Can't reflect Tibbers, but you are outranged by the Mel, so I'd imagine that the Annie will have a little bit of a rough time during lane, but once lane's done, Annie Burst will come out of nowhere and one shot three of the people on Team Tits. We also have a Senna. Who's their jungler? Senna Seraphine? I guess we'll find out when we load in. But Senna Seraphine versus Caitlyn Melio down in the bot lane. I'm assuming. Senna Seraphine versus Caitlyn Melio. I'd imagine that poke goes the way of Team Tits, so they should have some lane advantage, lane pressure. But I do think that R2R will scale a little bit better in the bot lane here so far. That being said, a reflected headshot will do a lot of damage back to Team R2R later on in the game, so we'll see how that works out. And then we have a Tom Kench and an Urgot. One of those is going jungle, one of those is going top lane. I'd imagine Urgot jungles, because I have seen that before. I know Urpog is a big Urgot jungle enjoyer. And I think that like Larix over on EU West is also an Urgot. He's a top main, but he will run it in the jungle, whereas Quante doesn't normally do that here in NA. That being said, it has an acceptable jungle clear, and it does scale well into the game, especially with Seraphine and Senna acting as a little bit more supportive bot lane. So that should scale pretty well into the game. Versus Lilia Mordekaiser, I'd imagine Mordekaiser top, Lilia jungle. Honestly, I like Lilia here. Lilia, I guess the sleep could be. I think the sleep can be sent back by Mel W. I think it can be wind walled, weirdly enough. There's like a weird little projectile that follows the trail of whatever Lilia's dot damage is called. Um, so I think it can be reflected with Mel W. But again, we'll find out during the game for sure. Mordekaiser has a good lane into both Tom Kench or Urgot. Even if Urgot gets an early kill, really Mordekaiser levels 4 through 8 can take over the laning phase, whereas Urgot would have to wait till level 9 if it's against Tom Kench. I think Mordekaiser has a good matchup the majority of the game. I do think Tom Kench has a little bit of burst early and heal if he hits enough Qs in lane to really turn the matchup his favor. But it should be a hard matchup for Tom Kench. Should be a winning matchup for the Mordekaiser. That being said, I guess we'll see how things play out. Booting it up. Y'all can't see this. Boom. Alright, so it is Urgot jungle. Again, I think the first clear is a little slower than a regular jungler, but after the first clear, it should all speed up. And it should be... It is a pretty good jungler after that. So we'll see. It'll be a lot based on how Bro Swagula, how many times he's played it before. See how good he is on it. It is an off-meta jungler, so those are always interesting to see. Looks like bot lane for both teams just dropping a ward into the middle bush. No real fight over it, just both of them saying, hey, we both have vision here. We know you have vision here. Moving on. Lilia going for Raptor start. Urgot going for red start. Clearing towards opposite sides. This is a league. We are, I think, a little over halfway into the season right now. This is the Light League. No one has updated the title, which I can't do. But this should be a Light League team, so these are non-fearless drafts, and I forget what the other restriction is. If someone in the chat knows and wants to drop it, they can, but they are non-fearless drafts, best of 3 games. Tournament doesn't start for a little while. And yeah, looks like mid lane's kind of going how we expected it to. Mel getting a lot of poke down on the Annie, making Annie's life a little painful, but Annie getting the push in on that wave. Oh, you forgot to turn off the time control. Whoops. Well, if you're like me, that didn't spoil anything because you didn't look at it. If you're not like me, learn to be like me. Don't spoil yourself. Mordekaiser typing -1. Tom Kench's greatest weakness, wave clear. I wish that champion had some wave clear. It is so fun to play. But wow, that thing can't clear a wave to save its life. Alright, looks like we have Rito getting pushed off the wave here. Good dodge on the Melq there. Does get hit by the root though. Oh, a lot of passive stacks must have been on there because that execute was from real high up. Well, first blood goes over to See Me No Mas. Looks like top lane. Tom Kench slow pushing over towards the Mordekaiser with the minion advantage. We'll see how he plays out this wave. They're both at about equal health. Tom Kench is 90%, but if he hits a Q, he's back to full. Kind of a funny champion. I love Tom Kench. He's so goofy. Notably, you may unbench the Kench, but he is a catfish. as I've been told many times. But sometimes you still unload the toad. Not much going on. Good bit of farming here. No real setup. Oh, let me turn on objective timers. And chat, just in case. Because if there is any talking, I want to see it. Can I move it? Okay, I can't move it. I don't want to see it. I lied. Looks like Mordekaiser pushing in the Tom Kench. Okay, we got a gank coming in mid lane. But Rito does manage to flash out of the Urgot Flash E. But that is flash advantage, so if they get another gank angle, Simi no Mas can lead with a Flash E, or if Annie's ever standing a little too far away, there's really no escape for her. Good bit of trading going on in bot lane. Her Depravity, not scared at all, just walking forward, clicking their heads and saying, you think you do damage? So do I. Okay, Bro Swagula, able to get out, uses the E-Shield to not lose too much health. No vision dropped in the Dragon Pit by either team. Here comes Sawdude. Gets his bowling ball reflected by Simi no Mas. A lot of stacks coming down right now. Simi no Mas has ultimate. Uses the ult, not quite able to kill, but he does manage to land his Q on Butt Rito, taking him down again. Legally a solo kill. Now we are just back to farming. Messi going for a kick, but he doesn't quite land it. Appears as though Directive Cam is a big fan of bot lane today. Must not be a lot of clicking each other in any of the other lanes. Oh, looks like we have a gank setup going in the top lane. We do have some CC being layered onto the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn's not that scared of it. Full health, has some sustain on her side. Tom Kench gets flash ulted by the Mordekaiser. When he comes out of there, there will be a Lilia waiting for him, who is level 6. Does flash out of the Lilia W, does not get proc by her passive, so not able to be put to sleep. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Caitlyn gets a kill, takes down the Flavor Town mayor. Now Papa Grog. Stayed a little too long. Caitlyn hit the 6, ace in the hole. Down goes Papa Greg. Bro Swagula gets kicked away by Messi. A lot of damage coming down. Lethal Tempo fully stacked. Flash forward. Kills the Urgot under its own tower. 3 kills go over to Caitlyn in that couple of minutes span. That is a good couple minutes for Caitlyn. You really got your snowball going. Now, let's see what she gets when she backs. Is the rule of 4 to BF sword, you buy a BF sword? Oh, guess not. Looks like since she can't afford the Noon Quiver, I think that's... Oh. Lynch Draco with the kidnap. Drops the Mordekaiser under turret. With the help of the turret, able to get a solo bolo onto Anime Lol. I think those are the 2 components going to Hex Optics, which I'm pretty sure all the Caitlyn players have swapped to at this point. Good item. Really good item on her. Caitlyn just walking up. Auto Q does as much damage as Caitlyn took the entire time she was walking up, just with one quick spell and one auto attack. Except Caitlyn has, I think, a little bit more sustain on her side. Oh, actually, that is a Senna too. Probably not quite as much. Bowling ball not quite reflected. Does go to sleep. Uses the flash to get out of Bro Swagula's ult, but still goes down. Meanwhile, they're walking back to the jungle, and there's a bear there. Down goes Bro Swagula to Tibbers. Have you seen my bear, Tibbers? Well, now we have. There's not a cash prize, but there are bragging rights. Really, when it comes down to it, who doesn't want bragging rights? E lands onto her depravity, but that shield is just too big. That is a lot of damage coming down from Caitlyn. Wow. Oh, root lands onto the Annie. A lot of damage from Annie gets reflected, but she's still able to get her stun Q off. And Lynch Draco, even with that one solo kill, struggles to clear the wave. There are bragging rights. Oh, looks like the Tahm Kench able to engage onto the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser brings him into the death realm, but as soon as he comes out, there's going to be an Urgot waiting for him. Does get eaten by the Tahm Kench here. Urgot able to put Mordekaiser in the grinder and fear the Lilia. They both junglers just walk away. Looks like gold is about even still. We'll do a quick gold check since both teams seem to be pretty content with farming. First turret going the way of Team R2R. And with that, they have a 1.5k gold lead. Looks like in the top lane, though, Lynch Draco on Team TITS does have a gold lead. He's at about 600 gold lead. Then 400 for R2R's jungler on Lilia Saw, dude. Oh, Tahm Kench lands the W. 3-hit combo. No ult available, but he is just walking down the Mordekaiser saying, you're a bruiser, I'm a bruiser. This is only the highest, finest level of League. With just the most handsome casters. Looks like we have about 400 gold lead in the jungle. See Me No Mas has huge gold lead. He's sitting on, what is that, 1,800 gold lead? But Caitlyn has an even bigger gold lead. Caitlyn is at a 3,000 gold lead against the Senna here. And 1,000 for the Melia over the Seraphine, so I think I found what's given Team R2R an overall gold lead, because they got a couple members struggling, but that Caitlyn does a lot of damage. Caitlyn now does have Finish X Optics, has a BF sword. BF, I believe, stands for Big Friendly Sword. You use it to show people what the power of friendship really is. Annie not quite at an item. Probably has an item on the next back, yeah. Has 1200 for the combined cost, so she will be able to finish that item on back here. Everyone will be sitting on one item. Tom Kench should be in the same boat, yep. Believe Tom Kench is able to afford the item. We'll be doing the... Oh, classic Tom Kench move. W from a bush so they don't see as much of the windup. Gets the 3 stacks. Eats the Mordekaiser. Down he goes. Right into the belly. See me no mas, able to kill Emilio, but does go down to the Annie in the meantime. Team R2R able to secure the dragon and able to clean up the fight here. They only lost that Emilio early, but they got 3 of them back and the dragon. Oh, maybe 4. Sadu looking forward. Does get Flavortown Mayor's barrier, but not able to get the kill. Says the tower does a little too much damage to me. I will chill. Gravity now, just finishing up that wave. Sitting on 1600 is deciding to back. Oh, Mordekaiser landing another W. Hollow Radiance does help clear out the back line while he's fighting the Mordekaiser in the Death Realm. Is fighting through the Mordekaiser's passive. There's a Seraphine up in the top lane here when Tom Kench comes out. Melio's coming shortly after, but is it too late? Tom Kench doesn't quite have his ult available to him. The speed up from the Melio does let Mordekaiser get out of the Tom Kench W, and Mordekaiser and Melio are both able to get to safety. No putting anyone in a grinder on that fight.
Steady. Immaculate.
Caitlyn ulting. For fun, vibes, and tempo. Honestly, what most Caitlyn ults are in the middle of the game. I like first strike because that means every time my ult's off cooldown, I can use it to get a little bit, like 20 bucks. Is it worth it? Maybe not. Does it give me dopamine every time I get 20 bucks? Absolutely. Oh, we have Urgon and Seraphine both pushing the Lilia out, but in the bot lane, but Rito does not know that there is a Mel in that bush, gets one comboed, and goes down. Oh, her depravity on Caitlyn, stuck in a bad place. Bro Swagula with a great buffer through the messy kick, but doesn't have the damage to bring the Caitlyn down. So close to pulling her in, but not quite there. Thankfully, Senna, Seraphine are able to clean up the rest of the bot lane. Meanwhile, in the top lane, looks like there is a Mordekaiser ult that's out. Shortly after the Mordekaiser had gotten eaten by Lynch Draco, but it doesn't matter. Mordekaiser has nowhere to go. I don't think he wants to be in the death realm with Tom Kench right now. A good little bit of a gold turn. Now the gold is absolutely even. Oh, with that tower though, and this top tower, looks like Team TITS is able to get the gold lead. 600 gold lead. Not very much. Like 2 pairs of brown paper boots, but hey, gold lead's a gold lead. Looks like Bro Swagula able to smite the Herald. And we will get a little bit of a reset here. Go spend their money. Someone has to go collect bot wave. 20 bucks is 20 bucks. I will Caitlyn ult someone for 20 bucks if I have first strike. Looks like Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. Team R2R got there early, set up vision control. Let me toggle some vision real quick. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Team R2R able to look a little bit into the enemy side jungle. Team TITS walking together but kind of walking blind. They do see that no one's on the dragon, which is good to know, but they don't quite know where everyone is. It looks like everyone has already backed off. They're setting up a trap here on Butt-Rito. Butt-Rito does not see this coming. Q lands. The flip lands. Down goes Butt-Rito. Looks like they are turning on to drag, but in the meantime, Team R2R might be setting up a Baron. No, they aren't going to commit to Baron. Just clearing some vision around there saying, hey, that's our next objective. Let's just start setting it up right now. See me no mas on the Mel says, let me go defend top. We already got Dragon. No need for me to stick around. No need for that wave to go to waste. Meanwhile, they are summoning Rift Herald for tier 2 bot lane. Get some plates with it here. They are getting rotated on by 4 members, but they are able to... Yes, they are able to get bot tier 2. They both go to sleep thanks to Lilia. Here comes the Lilia. Are they able to kill Lynch Draco? They do messy him out of his W. He's not quite able to use that as an escape, but he does go down. Shutdown goes over to Lilia. That is a great person to have it on. Caitlyn gets the Seraphine, another little bit of gold in her pocket. She is going to be scaling like a monster this game. And got the cannon. I saw that. I saw that, her depravity. Good cannon secure. No cannons missed on camera. At least none that I remember. Oh, you could probably see that the entire time. Whoops. Just doing a quick vision check around Baron. Blue side, able to see the Baron pit. They do see that there is a control ward in this. Nothing else for red side. I can check red side. We already know it's dark. And for us, the all-seeing spectators, it is all lit up. We see where everyone sees. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. Looks like we do have Mel pushing bot lane. Doesn't have TP, so if a Baron play is started, not quite able to get there. Annie thinks she's setting up a trap, but it turns out they're setting a trap on her. Bowling ball does hit Simi no Mas. No follow-up, no decision to sleep. Probably for the best. Everyone in the bot lane just kind of walks away. Same thing in the mid lane. A little bit of a trade over that wave. Ooh, Mordekaiser able to barely escape the Tom Kench. I'm assuming he had used his shield there to get out. If you do have a shield active, you don't count as being hit for the sake of channeling that or channeling your recall. Fun little trick with like Malphite if you have your passive shield and they barely touch it but they don't break it. Simi no Mas doesn't know exactly where Annie is, but able to guessed correctly, canceling her back. Looks like play is looking to be made here on Caitlyn. Seraphine almost goes down. Seraphine will go down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Urgot tries to counter engage on the Lilia, but also goes down. Bowling ball lands directly onto Flavortown Mayor. A lot of that damage went over to Caitlyn, but last tick of damage went over to Sawdude with the Lilia bowling ball. That should lead into Baron. Will Sawdude go down to it? I don't think so. Does have Melio sustain and some healing on jungle camps. But will Moonlight go down to the Tom Kench who's just licking him? Simi no Mas comes over to interrupt the Baron, but there is an Annie in between Simi no Mas and the Baron, and down goes Simi no Mas. Tibbers doing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Tom Kench running for his life. Let's see what the game plan here is. W's over the wall, thinking they were a lot closer and that he would jump over them, I'm assuming. But instead, he jumps into the waiting arms of 3 of his enemies. And down he goes. Dragon is spawning here. Looks like Team TITS does have some prio on it, but I don't believe they are going to be able to burst it fast enough. Here comes all 5 on Team R2R. The 4th member from Team TITS showing up too. They're just missing their Tom Kench, but he's dead, won't be here. They are forced to back off. Sleep goes down onto the Urgot, but no chase, and they just say, hey, we got your dragon, now let's go use our Baron. Annie getting in a bush. How long will Annie wait inside bush to kill people? Oh. The minions will spoil that there's an Annie in a bush. Thanks to Baron buff. Is the optimal play to die on Annie so you don't have Baron buff anymore? So you can hide in bushes? Makes you wonder. Meanwhile, Siege going off in the mid lane. Looks like we do have 2 members playing around the Caitlyn Siege. 3 members of Team TITS trying to defend against it. Able to successfully push off the first bit. Anime getting a lot of push off in the top lane. Looks like they are shifting Annie over to mid lane to help with the Siege. That's a big auto attack. A lot of crystals on that tower. Down goes the tower. Wow, auto, I'm assuming that was a crit headshot. Plus R, almost take down Flavortown Mayor. Flavortown Mayor does use the ultimate, survives, but is forced to back. Meanwhile, Annie in the bush just hoping that someone steps a little bit out of position, but instead gets spotted out. No Tibbers used. Tom Kench able to hold back the ranged minions from getting under turret damage, but those 2 cannons are blasting away at the turret still. I believe now there's a 3rd cannon in their midst. Is that Tibbers? Tibbers did get used over the wall. No one goes down. Tibbers does drop a soul. Makes sense. Tibbers is inhabited by something. Another wave cleared. Looks like Baron buff is out. Next Baron, 2 minutes 50 seconds. 3k gold lead for Team R2R. Tom Kench misses the W, not quite able to land on Anime, but he does land as slow. So Anime is not moving anywhere. Who got Mordekaiser ulted? It was the Urgot. Urgot, though, says, I win. Does not get the kill, though. And instead lives... Mordekaiser is able to live long enough for Sadu to come in, disrupt the fight. They kill the Urgot. Mordekaiser does go down, though, to the rest of Team TITS, but Sawdude is able to get out alive. And here comes Caitlyn. Oh, Someone spotted. Ooh! Simi no Mas was running up to try to defend from the Caitlyn ace in the hole, but the flash took him to the wrong side of the Mel. Not quite what you want to see there. Alright, there is someone who really wants to be saved and someone who's willing to do the saving, but the execution was just off. Lynch Draco gets found by the Lilia. But both sides say, no, this fight is not really what I want right now, and they both walk away from it alive. Simi no Mas walking forward on the Caitlyn with the reflection, thinks he's able to do enough damage. Does press Zonia's next to Caitlyn, which is always risky. Caitlyn does get the trap off, but Simi no Mas is able to live. Seraphine, though, is not quite as tanky. Does go down to the Caitlyn headshots. Caitlyn, an absolute menace. 4 item, full crit. AD carry. Yeah, down goes Flavortown Mayor. Wow, that is a lot of damage. Look at this. Yeah, late game Caitlyn really hurts. Oh, Flash Tibbers does get some of the damage reflected. Or not reflected, but stopped by the shield. Almost goes down, but Tahm Kench is there to eat the Mel. Walker out of danger. Struggles to clear the wave, though, because it is Tahm Kench. One of the few champions who still has that issue. Looks like Dragon spawned. This is third drag. Baron also spawned. I'd imagine Team R2R, after getting drag, is going to go set up a Baron play. Maybe not start the Baron, but at least set up in that area and force Team TITS to walk over to him. Reset here. They are in a Team R2R right now is in a great spot. Their Caitlyn is full 4 items. Really hurts. Lilia, great scaler as well. Even Annie, who, you know, score-wise isn't doing as good as them, but even Annie really hurts. If Annie drops a full combo on you and you're squishy at this point in the game, there's a good chance you die. So they have a lot of burst going on their team. But Team TITS does have vision control, and if they land a good Seraphine ult and a good fear from the Urgot, they could easily turn a fight their way. Here it comes, root into Seraphine ult into fear. Down goes Annie, down goes Melio, but here comes Lilia, gets the flash Q off, puts everyone to sleep. Meanwhile, her depravity has a Tahm Kench on her. Get out of there. Caitlyn able to kite well enough to get out. Does use the barrier, but not needed. Was a safety barrier. Ooh, Urgot able to trade 1-for-1 with the Caitlyn here. I would take that any day of the week if I'm the Urgot. Unfortunately, Sawdude is still alive, still incredibly healthy. Just running and trying to find the last survivor from Team TITS. Nevermind says, hey, there's a blue buff. Honestly, I'd rather have that than a Senna. I kind of respect it. Stealing enemies. Oh, is that what happened? I just saw that she got eaten. Saved her from the Mel ultimate. That is some anti-synergy right there. A bit unlucky, as we say in the biz. I guess that's not an interaction I would have expected, but yeah, it makes sense. Oh, that means you could probably do that with Karth Assault too. If you have a friendly Karthus, you can grief him and steal his pentakill by eating the enemy. Okay. Time to convince my top laner to lock in Tahm Kench. Oh wait, he'd be stealing my penta. Never mind. Time to convince him to never play Tahm Kench. Looks like we're back to fighting for vision around this Baron here. Not much going on other than Baron Vision fight, but it looks like Team R2R is able to walk in there, and right now they currently have the vision, but they weren't able to clear all of Team TITS' vision. So Team TITS has decent vision around there. Dragon spawns in a minute. We'll see how teams shift down to there. Alright, looks like we're safe to start to look at the different visions. Blue, very good vision. Red, very good vision, both around the Baron pit. Nothing around the Dragon pit yet. Looks like they're fighting over mid-wave here. Oh, switched out of blue. I meant to go back to all. Vision is being set up for Team R2R around the Dragon pit, though. They got to that area first. We'll see if Team Tits is even able to walk up. There's a Annie in that bush. Not quite able to one-shot the Urgot, but it is also able to survive. Urgot pushed out of the fight. Meanwhile, Simi no Mas and Papa Greg both get caught by the Lily asleep. Simi no Mas able to Zhonya's away, or Zhonya's to not get put to sleep. Is able to get out of there, but her depravity on Caitlyn just dealing lots of damage. Wow. I think that one auto was more than half. Was more than half of Mel's health bar right there. And now we have Siege. Only 2 members left on Team Tits, one of them with very bad wave clear. We'll see if they're able to survive, but I'd imagine Team R2R is able to close it out right here, even without Baron buff. They do just have such long range. Lilia does get eaten by the Tahm Kench, but nothing else is able to happen there, bro. Swagula and Tahm Kench both get pulled in. Down they go. Lynch Draco gets pulled in again. He does not get out of there. I think that auto attack just did 80% of Flavortown Mayor's health, and down goes the Nexus. Game 1 goes to the side of R2R. What is... Can I move that up? I guess. Okay. I might have already spoiled a little bit of things. I didn't think that through. But we'll look at the graphs real quick here. Pretend you don't see anything behind it. Go ahead, look at the damage. Yeah, that Caitlyn, that is 54,000 damage is a lot. Even Mel, who was doing a lot of damage here, just couldn't quite keep up and got outranged by Caitlyn autos. Boom, boom, down goes people on Team Tits. And we'll go back to the draft screen. Switch over to game 2. I'll see games. Alright, game 2 draft. Well, that started as a good game for Team Tits, but unfortunately that bot lane just snowballed out of control for R2R, and gotta switch over the team names real quick. Alright. There we go. Alright, looks like we have a Draven first pick. You know what? I like that. You said, hey, I popped off on Caitlyn. Give me Draven. Let me really run it right into them. There should be a lot of action going on in the bot lane, one way or another. We'll see how that works out for them. Draven pick into Veigar Blitzcrank. I see Brand later on in the draft. I'm assuming they picked this as an answer to Draven. Veigar able to stay back a little bit more and scale if needed. Blitzcrank, good hooks. You know exactly where the Draven's going to be. You aim at his axes on the ground, and there's a good chance Draven's going to walk right over to them, so good chance you're going to be landing that hook. And if you miss the hook, he doesn't have an axe. So we'll see if Blitzcrank is able to get a lot of good pulls off onto the Draven. Looks like we then have a Yorick and an Alistar. Pick from R2R. I'm assuming that R2R's top laner just likes playing Yorick and says, hey, give it to me. I'll gladly run it. We'll see what happens. He's going to be blind picking anyway. I guess it could be a Zahen pick. You generally see Zahen more in the jungle. And looking at the bans, that is what Team Tits is thinking as well. That's Yorick top and Zahen jungle. So we'll see when we load in. With Ahri, just good, solid, safe mid laner. Really able to make a lot of good picks and good plays happen. Looks like this team is really playing, hey, these four together, strong, make good picks, play around this guy. You go be a menace on the other side of the screen. I don't know if you can see my cursor as I circle people, but the menace being Yorick. Team Tits did answer the Yorick with a Lowy. I think that that's a good Yorick matchup just because the ghouls help block the Lowy E. And a Lowy without E is a lot weaker of a champion than a Lowy with E. But we'll see. A lot of that really comes down to execution. Warwick, blind pick. Zahen answer. Warwick, solid jungler, just, good ganks. Good ability to get across the map with the blood trails. Just solid pick. And they did answer the Ahri with the Brand, I'm assuming. I guess they could be going Brand bot lane, but when we load in, we'll find out. I'm assuming that's Brand mid and Veigar bot. And I don't know what that matchup is like. I would assume that Ahri has a little better wave clear early. But later on into the game, these three melee champions into Brand will be pretty nice for the Brand side of things. But all of this is assuming that Draven isn't snowballing. So we'll find out shortly here. Let me load up the game before I spoil anything. And let me also turn on the one for Team R2R. They did win the first game. And here we go. Surely nothing will happen while I grab a little bit of water. Alright, nothing had the chance of happening. I made it back before they made it, or right about when they made it halfway there. Looks like a little bit of vision set up. Team Tits is able to get the earlier vision into the bot side middle bush. So they know there's a ward in there from the blue side. Blue side doesn't know about the red side. Simino Mas able to get the ward onto the Raptors there. Did get spotted out, so they do know that there's vision. I don't believe they have vision of Warwick jungle. That being said, they are both clearing towards bot. So I would imagine that there's going to be a fight over that bottom jungle scuttle. I do think in an early fight, Warwick does win. Hook landing right onto the Alistar, but Alistar has Q, says go ahead, bring me in. It saves me from leveling up my W. A lot of damage came out from that Draven with the axes there. Draven is a great level 1 champ. Just if you keep the axes up, boom. Each one of those autos does so much. There's Draco. Just looking to keep pressing W on to anime. Okay, now looking to push it on the wave. Does land the E onto the Yorick. There are 2 tentacles there. Yorick needs to walk out. Meanwhile, on the bot side, blue team R2R is crashing the wave here. We'll see if any Blitzcrank hooks are able to land. Oh, it's tense. Hook goes out. Does force the Draven flash. Draven is able to dodge it, though. I guess one thing to note, we do have teleport onto Yorick and ignite onto Alawi. Hook goes out. Ooh, minion barely thick enough to save the Draven there. Doesn't quite land. 2 auto attacks from Draven, though, do a lot of damage. Yeah, that minion I think the minion got hit by, you know, like when we complain about Nautilus anchors and all the lollipopping that happens at the end of skill shots. I think the minion got hit by some lollipopping right there. Meanwhile, Alawi is able to land her E onto the Yorick. Bot side, Warwick does get the Scuttle Crab, is trying to run away from Sawdude here. He might have the better 1v1 early, but the bot lane, Draven Alistar are pushing in the Vygar Blitzcrank and will also do more damage if the fight continues. So Warwick got the Scuttle, he's getting his Gromp, and he's walking away. The top lane, another E lands by Alawi. Axe. Another E lands from Alawi, and it's a lot of damage onto the Yorick. Might be forced to back. Does decide to stay. Does have a decent amount of sustain on Yorick Q, but not going to be able to walk up far enough to use it. Looks like he is just farming from range with his E. Sawdude and Bro Swagula meeting at the top side Scuttle as well, not just the bottom. Sawdude has Smite this time, though, and is able to smite the Scuttle before Bro Swagula does. They both just walk away. Director camera taking us around the world real quick. Looks like we might be looking at another Blitzcrank hook attempt here. Nope. Draven and Alistar both agree, since they aren't autoing the turret, might as well back off. Don't even give Blitzcrank the chance. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Bro Swagula ganking Anime Lol doesn't hold the Q, so he does get trapped in the Yorick cage. I swear this game gets exciting. It has to at some point. Draven is either going to cash in or someone's going to stop him, and we'll see how that works out. But when a fight breaks out here, that fight is going to mean a lot in the bottom lane. Lynch Draco level 6 to Anime Lol's level 5. Does just walk up, gets the W, gets the E off, pushes Anime Lol back under turret a little bit further. Anime Lol able to dodge the tentacle coming down. Does stand under the turret. We'll see if the... And there's the dirty dive. Does just get E-ulted by Alawi and ignited. Down he goes for free. He probably should have reset instead of trying to get that big wave. But he got tempted by the wave and ended up paying dearly for it. Misses that wave. Alawi's able to crash another wave. Able to get, I believe, 2 plates? Yep, 2 plates. And a reset. That should be a huge gold swing for them. Looks like that is about 1,000 gold in the favor of Alawi. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Sawdude trying to start the dragon, but there is a See Me No Mas, Brand in the bush, does get the ult off. Brings Sawdude pretty low. They're able to kill the Alistar. Her Depravity not quite able to get there in time, so it doesn't get all the Draven damage out. And Team TITS able to secure this dragon as well as 1 kill. Draven does use his ult. Sees that they're low and decides to walk over there, but now he's trapped in the Vygar baby cage. Looks like they got their dragon and they're happy with that, so Team TITS is just going to walk up a little bit. Vision in the bush. I can't tell if he sees it. They know that it's there, but I don't think he sees it. Okay, now he can see it. Now he can clear it. That is a pretty fresh ward too. Sawdude did get spotted walking over to the Raptors. Bro Swagula and See Me No Mas going over there to contest that. But Rito standing over the wall, but no one committing to anything. So Sawdude or Bro Swagula does end up getting to keep his Raptors here. Moonlight engages onto Flavortown Mayor in the bot lane. Hook lands right onto Moonlight Alistar. Still level 5. Doesn't have the unstoppable will yet. Unbreakable will? Unbreakable will, I'm assuming. Because it's an unstoppable force. Unbreakable. Yeah, that makes more sense. Meanwhile, Lynch Draco stuck in the cage. Doesn't land his E, but does enough damage that he doesn't need to. Now, Sawdude is here, so we'll see. Lynch Draco still has 2 tentacles. Misses the E, though. Bro Swagula lands the ult, but it does get buffered by Sawdude's ult to get away. See Me No Mas is here. Does have ult as well. Drops that onto Sawdude. Swagula flashes, finishes off the Zahen. They're able to force but Rito's flash on Ari. And Anime Lol maybe looking for more onto Lynch Draco. Doesn't really have the mana pool. Hex Flash goes out. Does get the engage onto Vygar. Does have Unbreakable Will this time, but it also tanks 3 turret shots. Does go down to the Ignite from Blitzcrank. Her Depravity on Draven not quite able to finish or to follow up. Doesn't really have the mana pool too. But Draven does get solo XP. So if you're support there, just say you're giving your AD carry solo XP. Looks like the E is able to land onto Anime Lol. Does get a good bit of damage off. Alawi does rush the Iceborne Gauntlet. So Yorick will have a lot of trouble getting through the Alawi. And if Yorick's ever hit by one Alawi W, that slow is going to mean a lot for stopping or for sticking onto the Yorick. Does land another E right onto the Yorick between 2 tentacles. That's a lot of poke. Yorick is trapped under turret. Has some decent sustain with Q, but probably not enough. Lands the E. There's a couple of ghouls. There's a cage. Does force the Alawi to take a tower shot, but that Alawi has an armor item, so that tower shot does not do a lot. Does land another E onto the Yorick. Able to push him away. Walks forward, gets a plate. Zahan is there, but I don't think they actually want to take that fight. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there's an engage onto the Draven. Draven able to flash barrier, get out of there, but I don't think Alistar has the same. Never mind, Alistar able to flash ult and get out of there as well. Unbreakable Will really showing its stuff. Alistar re-engages onto the Vygar here, but there's a cage between that. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Able to trade 1-for-1 onto the mid laners, and Sawdude on Zahen able to take down the Warwick as well. Another little engage here by the Alistar. Yeah, Zahen is neat. Zahen is something. They didn't have JoJo ping. Draven stays alive. However, Vigar able to get a kill onto Alistar. Draven barely able to stay out of that baby cage. A lot of these engages by Alistar just get zoned off by the Vigar baby cage. It's really hard for Draven to follow up on them, and Draven hasn't lost his stacks, but he hasn't cashed in yet. I wonder how many stacks he has right now. 257 adoration stacks. For his sake, I hope he's able to cash in pretty soon. On the plus side, his ult executes a lot higher right now. Executes based off of adoration stacks. So if someone's low, maybe that's the cashing angle. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, looks like Team TITS does set up the drag. This is their second one. It doesn't look like Team R2R is really contesting. They sent a couple players there to watch, but not really do anything about it. Zahen said, nah, I'm going to go take his Raptors instead. Probably for the best. Doesn't have his passive revive available right now. I think that went down last fight. Stealing enemy jungle Raptors is always great. Looks like they do look to engage onto the Draven, put him in the baby cage, knock him up with an auto attack. There's the Warwick. Down goes Draven. He loses so many stacks. Does by Bloodthirster though. Meanwhile, Alistar able to get out of there in the top lane. Lynch Draco landed his E before they engaged, and they decided to keep fighting him. So he just presses R and says, well, there goes your top laner. Do you want any more? Sawdude? Sawdude smartly says no and ults away. Moonlight using the W to just knock away the Warwick and walk it out. They do fight over these Krugs. And you know what? Alistar didn't get the big one, but Alistar got a couple of them, so I respect that. Said, no, you don't get these for free. I'm here too. Ooh, there's the baby cage. Lands right onto the Draven. No real punishment comes down. Probably just a W, but Bloodthirster should let Draven heal all that back up. Absolutely base Moonlight. Decided to fight for those Krugs. Didn't really mean much, but hey, decided to fight for them. But Rito looking to punish Bro Swagula, stealing his jungler's Raptors. Not really able to punish all that much. Bro Swagula able to get the Raptors, walk away. But where he's walking, he's not going to find jungle camps available. Zahen has been there. Sawdude stealing Warwick's Krugs and Warwick's red buff. That being said, Warwick is in position here for the Herald combo from Simi no Mas going wide, but the Q does land onto the Ahri. Looks like they're setting back up in this bush. They don't quite know where Simi no Mas is. They do look to engage, but Alawi lands and E presses the R button. They're fighting in an Alawi ult and a Brand ultimate. That's just not where you want to be clumped up. Down they all go. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Draven does force out the Vigar flash. Got put in the baby cage, but said, "Hey, I'm looking to kill you anyway. I have ranged auto attacks, and they hurt." Flavortown Mayor agrees that they hurt. Well, they do be hurting. Each one of those do be chunking your health bar a bit. Papa Greg going for a hook. Goes wide. thankfully for him, does not land onto the Alistar. Ooh, her depravity walks a little too far forward, gets hit by the edge of the Vygar cage, gets flashed on by Blitzcrank. Full combo, down they go. Meanwhile, Alistar re-engages onto Flavortown Mayor, who doesn't have flash anymore. Sawdude able to get one back, and it's a shutdown. And then able to walk away. Looks like we have a skirmish here in the bot lane. Alistar going in with full combo. Sawdude looking at the brand here. Zahen just being a little bit of a menace. I believe Zahen's revive passive is up if he's able to get to fully stack. They are able to take down the Warwick. Charm lands onto the Greg, or onto the Blitzcrank. Papa Greg does also land his ultimate onto the Blitzcrank. Down goes the Blitzcrank. But Rito playing the edge of the cage, but does accidentally walk into it before it goes down. Does get killed by Vygar and Brand for walking into the cage. Ooh, beautiful E. Landed right onto the Yorick. Yorick is not having fun in this lane. This is a battle of two champs that just want to land E, but Alawi's landing a lot more of them right now. Oh, Alawi looking to kill the Yorick, but Yorick able to stay away, does sacrifice his maiden. No maiden. And the dragon goes over to Team TITS. Battle of two champs that just want to land E. Those are two very annoying champs to lane against, and both of them are E dodging simulator. I have about a 3.5K gold lead for the side of Team TITS. They have 3 dragons. They have the 3 grubs. I believe they have the Herald. Yep, Alawi has the Herald. So they've kind of just been pushing this game. They got a lead early and haven't let go. They haven't let Draven cash in any of his stacks. I don't know how many he missed the second time. He's currently at 153. Hopefully, for his sake, he's able to cash these in as well. But this game is not going as well as the Caitlyn game was. And that is the Draven Gambit. Simi No Mas and Papa Greg able to siege the mid lane here. They haven't gotten the tower yet, but they're close. There's a Zahen here on the flank who is spotted out on that ward. Not quite able to make anything happen, but he does push the Blitzcrank and Brand away. Saves the turret. Meanwhile in the bot lane, but Rito auto attacks, a lot of crystals come out. I'm assuming that was at least one played. Here comes the Alawi trying to charge the Rift Herald in, but there is a York cage, but the York cage was placed too far up, so Alawi still got a charge. Anyway, 3 champions fight Alawi, but Alawi landed the E and pressed R, and all 3 of those champions are melee champions, so Alawi able to walk away with a double kill. That is the Alawi champion. If you're a melee and you go in, you better have a plan of getting out. Oh, look at that beautiful hook. Lands even through Butrito's ultimate. Does Butrito go down? No, he has 2 more ultimate charges, but wow, that was a beautiful hook. That is the hook you try to land and you say, yeah, support gap. Oh, flashes forward. He's feeling hot. You know what? Yes, I love that play. Might have been a 1-for-1, but I love that play. You are feeling hot. You got a heat check. You hit it. You go down, but so does she. Meanwhile, Moonlight Flash comboing the Alawi. Alawi has ult again, though. Moonlight does not. Moonlight just instantly goes down as soon as the E landed. Now those W auto attacks with Iceborne are slowing. The lower cooldown on W does allow Alawi to just walk down the AD carry who has no more peel. Down he goes. Didn't think you'd have ult again in 30 seconds. You know what, Alistar? That's a good comm. Because I didn't think she had ult again. And I have the ability to see it. I just didn't look and assumed that she didn't. She doesn't have ult for this fight. She does have 3 levels on Sawdude, though. And does force out Sawdude's ult. Wow, you just can't walk near Lynch Draco right now. And here's the problem. They only have 2 range characters. One of those is a burst mage. You aren't going to burst down a Juggernaut. The other one is a Draven, but the Draven is 030, 1 item. You are 2 items, Tabbies, and Bramble Vests. You aren't going to be doing much, or you aren't going to be threatened by a Bloodthirster, Collector, Draven. And the Collector's not even finished. Papa Greg, looks like they're able to smell that the Zahed's in there. I'm assuming Zahed might have cleared a ward and I was busy yapping, didn't see it. Yeah, Draven's damage is depravity right now. This is a sad Draven game. Oh, Anime Lol getting Warwick ulted. The cage does keep the Brand away, but Warwick said, hey, Brand already did enough. I will finish it off here. Dragon spawned. This is soul point for Team Tits. They are in a commanding position this game. 8k gold lead. 5 players on this dragon. But Rito tries walking up. Does get full Brand comboed. Brand still has ultimate, though. They're trying to drop wards over the pit, but it just doesn't matter. They aren't able to see it. Sadu deciding, hey, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the steal. Does not go in at the right time. Does go down. And Soul goes over the way of Team Tits. Not only Soul, but after the jungler died, I believe they're just going to walk over to Baron. The 4 of them, Alawi, saying, I'm going to walk bot lane. You guys get Baron. I'm going to start split pushing. They need to send 16 to stop me. And they only have 5. Lynch Draco does have a 4 level lead on Anime Lol. Does take 3 tower shots because of a great cage by Anime Lol, but it doesn't really matter. Draven able to get what's it called? Objective bounty by taking the mid lane turret. Does get a little bit of a cash influx for his team, but the Baron went the way of Team Tits. And now that Alawi that is already a problem on side lane has Baron buff. And has a death stance. Their only chance of killing them is but Rito. Bursting him. I think right now, I truly believe Alawi could 1v5 if she lands her E. Kind of curious if we'll get to see that. Or if there will be a 4v4 here in the mid lane. But Team Tits is just in a great spot right now. Sawdude walking forward. Does have his dash, though, so he is able to dodge the Blitzcrank Cook headed his way. Well, here's Lynch Draco. Does get queued by Yorick. You couldn't tell. Does also take, I think, 2 tower shots. Really couldn't tell either. Simino Mas got a little bit of a burn on him. Walked up under turret, forgetting about his burn, and took some free turret damage. Ari able to get top tier 1, which is an objective bounty. The team, you know, doing their best to hold off. Honestly, Ari wouldn't have contributed much there, so it was made sense to my team said they backed off so I could walk up. Well, I think your team wanted you to take a couple tower shots from the looks of it. Oh, but Rito does get caught out of position there by a Warwick ult. Fear not quite landing on anyone from Warwick, but Lynch Draco does land his E. Anime Lol gets knocked up by the Blitzcrank. Look at that great fadeaway hook. Says, yeah, let me walk back here, and then boom, bring you all the way back here with me. No escape for them. They do try to, kill those cannon minions to get +1 cannon, but down goes their Nexus. Well, I've already spoiled that it does go to 3 games. I gotta figure out a little better setup for me for this in the future. But that is 1 game to Team TITS, 1 game to R2R. And look at that gold graph, 15k gold. Next highest, your AD carry who gets boosted gold, 12k gold. Yeah, this game was a lot of just Alawi side lane pressure. They could never stop him. When they sent 3 melees, and Alawi lands E, presses R, and says, yeah, let's fight. Just going to scroll down these slowly in case anyone has any that they are really curious about. Towers destroyed 4. Towers destroyed less than 4 as a team. Alright, gonna change screens on you here. Game 3, let me figure out the sides. I might have the names wrong. I do have the names wrong. Boom. Team TITS, blue side. Team R2R, red side. And yeah, let's take a look. Zig's first pick, good, safe pick. You can flex it between mid lane and AD carry. Does good in both roles. Just solid wave clear as well. Plus you get to throw bombs. Sounds like a great champion. Looks like the bot lane for R2R, they decide to go Zeri Yumi combo. If that gets to the late game, that is an absolute menace. Leona trying to stomp that in lane to not let it get to late. Leona and Amumu. A lot of CC coming from this support jungle. So we'll see if they're able to roam as a unit and layer that CC. They'll be able to kill anyone they come across. And 2 tanks picked. So here's the Gwen. Gwen, great into tanks. Real nice pick here, honestly. Great pick into what's showing because you press W, Ziggs can't really hurt you. The other 2 people on their team are tanks. You're sitting pretty. Then we have a Swain pick, followed by Yone Darius. Darius, if you go the new, what's it called? Phase Rush build, I don't hate Darius, even into ranged characters. Zeri is still a hard character for you to get on, so really you gotta let your Leona and Amumu land their CC, and then Darius can walk up and deal a lot of damage to them, potentially kill them, maybe dunk them. Dunking them is really fun. But they do have a Yone. Yone also able to get onto them, also threatens the Gwen. Same with the Darius threatening the Gwen. Both of those, I guess I don't know how the lane matchup goes for Swain Yone, but in the mid game, if Darius ever gets on the Swain, Swain can be pretty tanky, but when it comes to drain tanks and when it comes to those melee style fights, it's hard to bet against the Darius. Looks like they did round it off with Ornn. This is going to be a tough lane for Ornn, but if Ornn's able to get out of lane, does bring a lot of value here with the engage and with the overall team fighting plus extra cash to give Zeri a little bit of an extra 1,000 gold boost in the later game, and Gwen 1,000 gold boost. Really, it's going to be about making sure you dodge those Darius E's with your Ornn W Unstoppable and making sure you just are able to survive this lane. You don't need to win it. You just need to gracefully lose it. And you're chilling. So we'll go ahead and hop into the game. And see what happens. Alright. Kind of wish it took a little longer on loading screen because I do want to look at the skins a little bit more. I did see Yubi. I don't know what this Swain skin's called, but it's pretty cool. Does Zeri have a Fright Night skin? Is that what I saw? My mid bought me Gwen skin. Y'all cooked. Oh, imagine not having money. My mid doesn't buy us skins. Are you color coordinated though? You can cook these nuts and you very well might. This is some good start of the game all chat here. Lynch Draco setting up in the far bush. Again, both bot laners just warding the mid bush, getting a little bit of vision on it. Nice ward. Thank you. Oh, looks like he did miss going over the pit, so that's a good comm. Didn't miss it by much, but he did miss it. Thank you, bro. That's a... Simino Mas does have the level 2, no longer an advantage, but Rito did hit it. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, both sides will be hitting level 2 here at about the same time. Flavortown Mayor hitting it just a hair early, so Papa Greg must have dropped a minion or two of XP, but Zeri and Yumi both hitting it right after. Same with the Leona. In the top lane, looks like Ornn decided that he can't be too greedy, so he did go with the Doran Shield health pot start instead of the refillable start. Makes sense. Darius will punish you level 1 if you do not have a Doran Shield. Honestly, will punish you level 1 even with a Doran Shield, but at least you have Doran Shield regen to kind of help sustain your way through it. Simino Mas dodging the Swain W with his E. Looks like Anime Lol does flash to stop the Darius heal from going off. Also stop the 4th stack of bleed. Probably for the best. Notably, Ornn did go the Summoner Spellbook, which makes sense. Honestly, in the mid game, you don't want to be trading a grass proc for Darius auto. Because one Darius auto can easily lead to another, and if you're trying to get grass procs, you might just die. Darius self-admitting that they missed a cannon. Unlucky. FF15, probably. Oh, beautiful E landing right onto Simino Mas. E connects into the W. Simino Mas, though, is able to clear the wave. But that is some stacks for the Swain. A little bit of bonus health. Oh, Anime Lol doesn't have W to stop the unstoppable, or the pull that time. Does get pulled back, but able to live. Not by too much, but able to live. Meanwhile in the mid lane, but Rito gets pushed on this wave. Looks like Gwen is top at the Krugs. Ornn's looking to TP back. I don't know if they're going to try something, but in the bot lane, Zeri, Yuumi playing aggressively here onto the mana-less Ziggs. But the Leona's still there and says, I don't need a Ziggs, I will beat you myself. Doesn't quite do that because a tower gets involved, but is able to push off the Zeri Yuumi and able to get Ziggs back on the lane. There is an Amumu coming over, potentially looking for a dive angle, but at least looking to ensure that Ziggs, Leona are able to crash that wave safely, which they do. And they're sticking around for just one more wave. Ziggs does have no mana, so we will see if that works out for him. Oh, great little engage here by Simi no Mas on the Yone. The E pullback damage, not quite enough, but Rito able to live on what's probably 10 HP. Tops. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Lynch Draco engages onto Anime Lol and takes him down. And that is the start of the Darius project. Does use the Ghost, but still has a splash for the next fight. That is not what you want to see. Yeah, hitting 6 on E2. That level up just barely saved him. I swear that was 10 HP. Oh, looks like the Empowered W does land on the Flavortown Mayor. That is a big slow. Zeri looking to go forward with that slow. Does flash forward. Takes down the Ziggs all off of that Empowered W landing. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Simi no Mas again dodging another W. Anime Lol using the W billowing breath to be unstoppable for that pull. Also uses the Summoner Spellbook to switch to Smite to get a cannon. I love that play. That is a great way of, yeah, not gonna lie, yeah, absolutely outplayed him. That right there, honestly, I might FF15 if I'm Darius. In the bot lane, looks like a lot of little Zig spells chipping down at Zeri's health. Flavortown Mayor and Papa Greg looking to get onto the Zeri. They do use the Leona ult, but Zeri is standing right next to a wall and is able to parkour right over it. Survives. There's an Amumu there too, though. They see the Amumu, but are they able to get out? Do they stop it? Amumu lands the bandage toss, presses the Amumu R, down goes Zeri. Are they able to kill the Yuumi as well? Here comes but Rito. They do CC the Zeri, so she isn't able to jump on anyone, but now Amumu's in a bad place. But Rito walks right over, connects with the Zeri, down goes Bro Swagula. Just hunting down that Amumu. Flavortown Mayor tanking turret aggro and still getting hit by the first E, or by the W for the slow. Does get hit by the Swain E here. Does go down to the Swain ultimate. That is a great roam from But Rito. Looks like Gwen is looking to play grubs, but Yone is there and Darius pushed his wave, so Darius roams over as well. And Samurai Jack is in the chat. I'm sure he is ready to spam his favorite emote here. as soon as Ornn finishes what he's building. Ornn does get pulled in by Lynch Draco, who flash autos for the last stack, ult, and that bleed should kill. Ooh, the bleed barely doesn't kill. Leaves him on probably 50 HP, a little bit more than what Swain was left on, but not much. Thought he had the damage, not quite there. Sawdude looking for a gank here on Papa Greg. And Flavortown Mayor, they do get stunned, and the turret shot's able to keep Sawdude from committing. Didn't really blow anything there either. I guess they did blow the Leona ult to stop the Gwen from really walking much more forward, but you know, that's a relatively short cooldown. Surprisingly short cooldown. Even at rank 1. Simino Mas, good footwork there to dodge the Swain E off of his Q3. Oh, there's the chain vest. He's almost there. A ruby crystal and small extra fee away from favorite item. Good Amumu combo lands right onto Butt-Rito. And down he goes. Swain, or not Swain, Ornn trying to ghost away. Ornn able to ghost away from the Darius here. Her depravity might catch out the Leona. A lot of bullets firing, and they do some damage. That is an empowered W, but the Leona's increased resistances from her W able to let her survive. Meanwhile, Amumu's coming up. Amumu doesn't have ultimate though, and the bot lane is not in a great spot to help the Amumu. The great pullback from the Darius takes down the Ornn in the top lane while I was yapping about the bot lane. Able to get his 5 stacks, able to pull him back for that beautiful dunk. Zeri is such a cool character. You know, I have words I'd like to say about Zeri, but I won't. What I will say is I don't like Zeri. It is kind of a cool concept, but as someone who enjoys playing melee characters, I don't like Zeri. But it is a cool concept. You could, but Zoe's got a much more random personality, and that's why we love Zoe and hope that the team with Zoe wins. Simino Mas able to zone off, but Rito doesn't give him access to the Dragon Pit. Oh. But Rito does flash preemptively there. Bro Swagula was hitting a ward. Could have thrown out a Q, but Rito flashed anyway, just to be safe. Meanwhile, a little bit of Ziggs poke coming down in the bot lane. Amumu here as well. They are staring right at the Zeri. Misses the bandage toss. Zeri stays under turret. Gwen is running right over there. I wonder if they're going to go for a dive and a counter dive in the top lane, though. Ornn misses his QE. Lives back to the bot lane. Looks like we do have a fight breaking out, but Rito teleported behind. Does get stunned by the Amumu. Simino Mas does get exhausted. Swain able to kill the Amumu there. They thought they had a play going, but it was a beautiful counter play by R2R. Oh, good luck backing here. You're not in a good spot, Leona. They try fighting forward, but not able to make anything happen. Gwen is able to kill the Leona there. Ziggs able to survive. Yon TP's over there. TP's to walk to mid? I don't know. He's kind of deciding. Looks like he's going to stick around for this. Nope, not going to stick around for this wave. Does decide, hey, going mid lane. Chad, it's here. It's here. All the hard work that the supports are doing. We'll see if this Ornn is doing that hard work as well. Anime lol going for the Q or the E onto the pillar. Unfortunately misses. And in a bad spot with no way of getting out of there. So down he goes. You know, at this point, I respect the attempt, but you just gotta stop eating forward as Ornn. Even if you land it, Darius is gonna win the fight. It's like Bro Swagula does spot out the Gwen here. They do walk forward at the Gwen. Stays in the Gwen W, so he's able to land both of his E's, or both of his Q's. Swain E does land onto the Amumu. They are able to kill the Amumu, but both Swain and Gwen get taken down. Yone gets the kill credit on both of them. Alright. Curse of the Sad Mummy. Top 2 league song, and it's not number 2. Every time I play Amumu, I'm listening to that song on repeat, and it just inspires my Amumu gameplay so much more than regular. I've accidentally played Amumu without listening to the song, and I feel like a third of a champ. But if I play that song on Amumu, I'm Spider-Man out there, 4-man ultimates. Just throwing it out there. For anyone who wants some Amumu gameplay, make sure you turn on Curse of the Sad Mummy, embrace your inner Amumu, and pop off. They're able to get the wave pushed. Team Tits does get the Rift Herald. I forgot to turn on objective timers again. I wish it would just stay on. Lynch Draco is trading on to the Ornn. Does have a 3-level advantage. Alt not quite able to kill. Anime lol does get the, what's it called? The cannon, and is able to walk away. Honestly, when you're 3 levels down, I guess 2 levels down now, you call that a win in your book. But Rito does get the extra blue buff there. A lot of people around it, but Rito's the one that gets to claim it. They do start the drag here. It is a 4-on-4. Yone is not quite connected, and Darius, who is a lot of their gold, not over there either. But Amumu and Yone from Team Tits walk forward and push them off. Papa Greg there as well. Help them push from the top side. Looks like Team R2R decides not to take this fight. Says, hey, I think we should just wait and scale a little bit more here. And give the dragon over to Team Tits. It is only the second drag. So if you feel like you're going to lose that fight, you know, not a bad drag to give. CB No Mas tries to use Z to dodge the Swain E, doesn't quite do it. Does use Q3 to go in. Gets flashed on by the Swain, but just uses his ult to get out of there. Swain used ult and flash. Yone only used ult. I think you call that a win. Looks like Ornn thought he was going to dodge up. Unfortunately, though, he did dodge down, so Ornn R2 misses. They're able to kill the Gwen, Team Tits, and they're able to kill the Zeri. Ornn and Yuumi able to walk away, but 2 for 1 is a good position to be for a fight you did not opt to take. They wanted to fight you, and you ended up winning it. Plus, they have Rift Herald here after the fight, so not only do they get the 2 for 1, they also get 1 tower, 4 plates. Are they going to overstay here for the 5th plate? They do get the tower. I guess it's not an overstay. Ooh, it might be an overstay. Yep. Swain does land his E. Lynch Draco is in a bad spot. Flashes and Ghost. Big heal coming out for Lynch Draco, but it might not be enough. Yeah, not enough. Big shutdown goes over to the Swain. That Swain is someone who, you know, you're happy to see the money on. That Swain will become an absolute problem later in this game. Just needs to get a little bit tanky so he can stand in them and use Swain ult, because Team Tits is mainly melee characters. It's a bunch of melee characters and Ziggs. So if you can survive all the melee characters, it's a good Swain game. It's a good Swain game. Ornn did swap over to Smite again. Doesn't have Flash for the next 5 minutes, so I guess slightly under 5 minutes because he has the Summoner Spellbook. So he did grab Smite. Curious if that means they're going to be looking to set up a Baron play or if he's just going to use it on another cannon again. Looks like in the bot lane, Simino Mas does have some lane pressure against, but Rito. Both are sitting on 2 items and empowered boots. Yone still has his D shield. Swain has Oblivion Orb. Bleed wore off. Lynch Draco looking for the tower, but there's a Zeri behind the Ornn, so they do try to fight. Looks like Swain's teleporting in. His team might not have gotten the memo immediately, so there was a little bit of a delay, but they are still able to get there early enough to kill the Darius. Kill goes over to the AD carry. Ornn gets a second kill onto the Leona here. Looks like they walk a little bit more forward, do a little bit of a backstep to dodge the Amumu bandage toss. Zeri able to dodge the Amumu ult, but Amumu and Ziggs able to take down the Ornn here. That is a full armor Ornn, so those 2 champions will be doing damage to it. That being said, Ziggs or Amumu did go down for it. The bot lane, Simino Mas saying, you know what? It was 3 for 1, but I got a turret. I'm pushing tier 3 inhib. Almost gets the inhib turret, does walk away when Swain and Gwen are alive, so he's able to get out of there in time. Zeri is pinging the Amumu flash. That's a good cooldown of ping. He did just use it last fight. A couple minutes without it. And flash ult is a great Amumu engage, so we'll see what he does without flash. Looks like blue side does have vision advantage. They already have it set up. And red side needs to play into them. Swain and Gwen leading the charge here. Looks like they're looking to fight onto Lynch Draco here. Lynch Draco does get a beautiful 2-man pull. Yone with a great follow-up to it. A lot of damage coming out there. Able to eventually kill the Amumu. But Rito's still alive. Gets the kill onto the Yone. Yuumi gets the last tick of damage onto the Leona here. They're able to take her out as well. But Rito, though, able to clean up 4 for 3. Dragon goes the way of Team Tits, though. The only health point that matters is the last one. That's very true. We've seen a couple people survive on the last one, and we've seen these, you know, Yumis and other support champions get the last hit on just the last point of damage. That's all you need. To get a great KDA, you don't need to deal the most damage in the game. You just need to deal the last points of damage the most times. Looks like a little bit of vision control fight happening near the Baron Pit. Simi no Mas engaging onto Butt-Rito takes half his health. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Notably, Simi no Mas has teleport if something breaks out around Baron, but Rito does not this time, so it'll be the reverse of the TP flank from the Swain last time. But Rito just looking to clear the wave. Yone, hopefully, or I should say looking to hopefully go forward with the wave. First bandage toss onto Gwen, misses. Gwen does use Ghost and Ult to get out of there safely. Looks like we have 4 entering here. There's only 2 on the red buff. Amumu does end up smiting the red buff and is able to get out of there. The rest of them looks like they're trying to engage onto the Darius. Good E by the Darius, lands right onto the Zeri. Ziggs throws a bomb. Hits Zeri in the sweet spot. Looks like we do have a Swain TP towards the bot lane. Yone applying a lot of side lane pressure here. 3 more coming over. There goes mid inhib. There goes bot turret. They able to get this inhib as well or no? There's a 4v4 down in the bot lane, but more of a 4v4 posturing. Anime Lol goes forward onto the, as Ornn onto the Darius. Darius using E to cancel Ornn's R2, but doesn't land the Q for the heal. Does land the Q for the heal onto the Zeri though, so the fight continues. Is taken down by the Zeri. That was really close, but not quite able to kill him. Ornn able to survive with just the last point of health again. The only one that matters, and Zeri has enough damage to kill Darius at this point. Looks like Dragon's up in a minute. Notable summoner spells. Mumu does have flash again. No flash onto the Yone. No flash on the Leona. Ziggs has flash, I'm assuming for safety. No ghost onto Gwen. No flash on the Swain. But bot lane has all of their summoners for R2R. Ornn still has smite. Maybe he'll use it help. What's it called? Contest the drag. I'm not sure if he has flash or not. I'm assuming it's up by now, because I think it was a while ago that he switched over to smite. But I didn't keep full track of it, so not entirely sure. With drag spawning, Team TITS decides to go for Baron. They know that there's no vision on the Baron Pit thanks to their control ward. They're going to be able to sneak this out. They are. Absolutely massive for them. They're able to just sneak that Baron before the dragon even spawns. Now they're all walking as a unit towards the drag pit. Umualt lands onto a couple of them, but Gwen able to secure the dragon for Team R2R. That being said, we have Baron empowered minions and super waves coming in the bot and the mid lane, bot and mid lane. Darius is hard pushing the top lane with those Baron empowered minions as well. They are looking to end on this Baron play. Draco getting some damage on the top turret. Looks like Ornn is looking for an engage. They do pick out the Leona here. Down goes Leona pretty much for free. Oh. Big Yone ult. Does get flashed by the Ornn. Darius in 3 of them, but not able to survive. Swain just full health. Absolutely full health. Massive Swain ult. Zeri pelting them all down. They weren't quite able to get onto or kill any of the carries from Team R2R. Zeri's doing their thing now. She has 3 items. Almost 4. That Zeri champion is going to be pumping. And they're finally able to hit the mid lane and get those crystals off of that tower. I'm assuming they're going to be able to take down the entire tower as well. Yeah, they have 2 champions that are very good at it. Tower, stay standing. Still a very close game. Looks like a 1.3k gold lead for the side of Team TITS, but this is a very tight game, and there's a lot of minions for Team R2R to farm. Notably, the mid lane inhib is about to respawn. This wave crashing near the middle doesn't have supers on it. While I'm yapping about minions, they catch out Gwen in her own jungle and only use the Leona ult to kill her, so they still have 4 ultimates to continue sieging with. Looks like bot inhib will be respawning soon as well. They still have Baron for a little while longer, looking to push into the top inhib here. Q3's forward. Not able to find anything. A little bit of poke comes out from Ziggs. Looks like they switch on over to tier 2, or to inhib mid. And they're walking over to inhib bot lane as well. It's about to respawn. Do they take this third inhib too, or are they going to end up overstaying? Gwen is back alive. Amumu does get caught by the Swain E and goes down instantly. The inhib able to respawn. Dragon in a minute 30. Top inhib for R2R and mid inhib for R2R both down. There's a total of 4 inhibs down for Team R2R. They are powering through this siege, and they are getting a lot of farm because of it. Dragon spawned in 40 seconds. Looks like Team TITS is already pretty well set up with vision. Team R2R still struggling to clear these waves. New position for the waves to be in trouble though. Curious, what does the Yuntal? Okay, Yuntal gives attack speed and AD on upgrade. Ability haste and AP. Looks like they're able to catch Lynch Draco with the Swain E. Darius is going down. Big Amumu ult, but Amumu goes down as well to the Zeri. All of this fighting, but none of it happening on the Zeri, so Zeri's just able to keep free hitting. And all those Zeri autos, they're hurting now. There's a full 4-item Zeri, 100% crit. If you can't take her down, she can carry a team fight. Baron spawning in 20 seconds. Team R2R in a great spot to get it. They just need to clear out a couple of waves here. But, Team TITS. 4 of them still haven't spawned. So, they're able to clear out some minion waves on their way over to Baron. And they should melt that Baron pretty quickly if they decide to fight it. Looks like her Depravity instead clearing a couple more camps, looking to push the mid wave again. So they decide not to go for the Baron. But Gwen is over there, setting up some vision on it at least. I guess the vision being the Scuttle Crab. How many items do we have in the game right now? We have 4-item Darius. We have almost 4-item Amumu. 4-item Yone. 3-item Ziggs. 3-item Leona. Looks like Team TITS does decide to start up the Baron. They are seen on the Scuttle Crab. Ornn ult does manage to land onto the Darius, who uses his Q to heal off of the Baron, but is pulled back into a fight by Sway and Papa Greg trying to peel. Big Yone ult lands on the 2 people. Unfortunately, Zeri is still alive. Zeri runs them all down. And yeah, I think that's really what we're going to be seeing. Oh, Baron knocking up, canceling backs. Baron absolutely hates the Zeri. Yone able to apply some pressure by going for the base instead of looking to continue the fight around the Baron. Looks like he does get top inhib. He is getting flanked by the Zeri though. Big Zeri empowered W comes out. Let's see if they're able to land a slow. Ooh, Simi no Mas opting into the fight. Gets his Q3 ready so he can Q3 over a wall. Very well done by him. Unfortunately, if Zeri is able to get over any of these walls with her E, she is able to catch up. And down goes Yone. Baron's still up. Only top inhib down. Ooh, Leona engaging onto Sawdude with her ultimate. Unfortunately, they don't have the damage to burst the Gwen, and Zeri is there. Looks like the Amumu ult, though, able to land onto the Zeri that time. She walked a little too far forward. She goes down to the Darius. Now the Swain's in on the fight, though. He is unkillable. Huge drain champ at this point in the game.
It's just you and me.
Both teams reset. Zeri is up in 3 seconds. Darius up in 20 seconds. Dragon up in 25 seconds. Yuumi pushing the wave. Gets caught. Gets her reattach canceled. Goes down to the Yone from the bush. Got caught out, and that is the first death onto the Yuumi character. Big shutdown going over to Yone. In the funniest way possible. Darius TP's over to drag. This is a soul fight. Whichever team gets it gets the soul. And Team TITS does jump onto the drag and starts hitting it. They have vision control of the area. Team R2R has to play into them, but they are opting into it. Ornn goes forward, lands a two-man ultimate. Meanwhile, on the back line, Yone goes down, not quite able to kill the Zeri. Gwen does get the soul. That Zeri's going to be even harder to kill. Not just the Zeri, though. Look at that. Swain just standing in the middle of all of them. Took 0 damage. And the 0 damage he did take, he also managed to heal up. That team is going to be hard to kill with Mountain Soul. So I've got good news and bad news for chat. The good news is, no matter the outcome of this game, Sunfire Cape's win rate is going to go up. The bad news is, no matter the outcome of this game, Sunfire's win rate is going to go down. So I think it is under 50%, so legally it will go up, but like, it is both winning and losing this game. So, better see some more Sunfire Capes coming out to disrupt the balance here near the end of the game. In the meantime, Team R2R has set up some vision around Baron. Here comes Team TITS, though, to clear out some of it and set up some of their own. Can't clear out that Scuttle Crab, though. Can just drop a ward right on it. Say, you can see this stuff, we can see this stuff too. They do find the other ward there near the entrance. Or I should say the exit of their jungle. Looks like they did drop a blue ward, though, onto Baron. Zeri looking to go forward, but no one's there to go forward on. Swain flashes forward, only hits the Leona with the E. Leona flash. The slow from the Rylai is not quite enough. Swain uses flash ult without getting a kill. Gets a flash back, but that's it. Meanwhile, looks like Team TITS is effectively utilizing some side lane pressure. They get bottom inhib, seeing no Moss able to ult away. Does have to flash. Is getting chased down by a ghost. Oh, that's a lot of damage from Zeri. Holy crap. Zeri takes down Leona. Zeri takes down Ziggs. A little bit more damage. Boom. Down goes Amumu. Darius has 5 stacks, but doesn't have the damage to kill the Zeri through exhaust. Quadra kill for Zeri. I'm curious if she's going to go for the Penta or if she's going to go for the end. Simino Mas, what are you going to do? Opt in? Does get knocked up by Ornn. Simino Mas has to go into them. And Simino Mas goes down to the Swain. No pentakill for the Zeri. They do get the Nexus, though. Down goes Team TITS. Up goes R2R. It was very well played by her depravity. Popping off in 2 of those 3 games. Unfortunately, that second game in the middle there. Oh, hi, Muffin Man. Thank you. Unfortunately, that second game in the middle there, kind of rough on the Draven, but brought it back on the Zeri this game. Great Swain pick. It's the same idea as that Alawi pick last game, where it's a bunch of melees on blue side, so this Swain gets a lot of value from being unkillable in the ult. Honestly, Gwen pretty good at killing tanks too. Killed the top side, made their lives pretty hard, but a lot of that just came down to Zeri. I'm sure the graphs from the damage will show that. Yeah, there's a Zeri, there's a Swain. Still a great game by the Swain. And Darius and Ziggs both put up a lot of damage, but they were just getting melted in those late game team fights, and that Swain was not taking any damage. I mean, I'm sure he took a lot of damage, but when we see the damage healed, there's Swain. Talk about damage healed. I did not expect the Gwen to be that high as well. Those two champions just absolutely drain tanking, not getting bursted down. Meanwhile, Zeri just popping out damage. Each one of those bullets at the end there really hurt. A lot of self-mitigated damage. Darius has a whole bunch of self-mitigated damage. But yeah, R2R wins the series. Honestly, great series. A lot of fighting. Game 3 really came down. It could have gone either way. Great game 3 to finish that series off. Unfortunately, the Zeri scaling was just too much, and Team R2R able to take the win. Don't know what either team's records go to, but that is the end of that. Peace out and good night, chat.